Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. Yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Muhammad Saiful Bahri Yusoff, our respected speaker, fellow colleagues, professors, associate professors, doctors, brothers and sisters. Welcome to today's CPD webinar organized by the Professional Development Unit, PDU, of the Center for Professional Development, International Islamic University, Malaysia. I am Dr. Muhammad Ashraf bin Rostam, the Deputy Director for PDU of the CPD. Before we begin our session, let us seek blessings from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for today's program to run smoothly and we gain benefit, inshallah. Al-Fatiha. Brothers and sisters, today, hopefully this can be a short break. We are now in the midst of examining the students' final examination papers. So hopefully this would be a short break so that we can learn for our continuous improvement, inshallah. And today's webinar is on the topic related to networking and collaboration, building collaborative relationships in academia. By the end of today's program, participants are expected to be able to recognize key forms of academic and industry networking and explain their relevance to interdisciplinary research and professional development, describe practical approaches for initiating and maintaining collaborative relationships within academic and industry communities, identify current research and industry trends and discuss how collaboration can support alignment with these trends and reflect on potential collaboration opportunities within our own context and articulate at least one feasible next step for engagement, inshallah. And hopefully all of this would allow us to continuously improve our growth as an academician, inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, before we move and I pass this session to our speaker, allow me to introduce our speaker. Dr. Muhammad Saiful Bahri Yusoff is a professor of medical education at the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, Universiti Putra, Malaysia. He holds a medical degree and master's in science and PhD in medical education and is widely recognized for his expertise in curriculum development, assessment, teaching and learning, and quality assurance in medical and higher education. His leadership and professional roles, he currently serves as the editor-in-chief of the Education and Medicine Journal and president of the Malaysian Association of Education in Medicine and Health Sciences. In addition, he is the special advisor to the executive director of the ASEAN University Network, AUN. He is also the regional director for East Asia of the International Society for Emotional Intelligence and a program auditor for the Malaysian Qualifications Agency, MQA, and AUN Quality Assurance. He is frequently invited as a speaker and trainer at national and international levels, contributing to faculty development and academic quality enhancement. He has played a key role in various strategic initiatives related to Malaysian higher education, including future scenario planning, competency-based and experiential learning frameworks, program relevance to workforce demands, the development of a new merit-based admission system, and the design of national frameworks for credit hour system for postgraduate medical education and teaching excellence. He has also contributed to flagship programs such as the Teaching Scholar Program, Flexible Lifelong Scholar Program, Learnovator Program, and AUN Qualifications Excellence Training Program. In recognition of his impactful research in medical education, particularly in the areas of well-being, resilience, and psychometrics, he has received numerous prestigious awards and research grants, including from Erasmus and the Fundamental Research Grant. Since 2022, he has been listed by Stanford University among the world's top 2% scientists. Previously, he served as the head of the Medical Education Department at the School of Medical Sciences and as the Director of the Center for Development of Academic Excellence, CDAE, at Universiti Sains Malaysia. Important notes to all the participants: CTD points will be awarded to those who fill in I attend, recorded in Zoom attendance for a minimum of certain durations, and fill in the evaluation form within 24 hours. We will email you the evaluation form and hopefully you can complete within 24 hours. With that, I would like to welcome our speaker, Professor Dr. Muhammad Saiful, to deliver our webinar today. Please welcome, Prof.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you so much to UIA for this opportunity of sharing some experience that I have related to the topic. And then before I start, can you listen to my voice clearly, or do I need to shout a little bit?
It's okay. The audio for me is
All right.
sufficient and yeah, audible.
Okay, that's good. All right, so can you see my slide now?
All good, yep. It's
Okay,
meaningful, yep.
all right. All right, so once again, thank you so much to AUM, and nice meeting everyone, even though I cannot see you, but I can feel you. All right, now I'm going to share my limited experience on this topic about networking and collaborations, and how do we build collaborative relationship in the context of higher education, especially our role as academics in the academia world. All right. So as mentioned just now, there are four things that I'm going to share within this more or less 2 hours. So I'm going to focus on what are the key forms of academic and industry networking afterward. And then perhaps I will also like to get your input as well related to that, because sometimes what we went through and what you went through maybe, maybe have some common point, but maybe you have some unique point that worth for sharing today. All right. So please welcome when it comes to that particular moment that you can share yours as well. And then the second part, I'm going to share a little bit more about maybe what the practical strategies, simple enough for us to start initiating, developing, and how do we sustaining the trust based on this collaborative relationship. Because for your information, in any collaboration, trust is fundamental, and I will, I will, um, you know, deep dive into that matters a little bit more based on what I have experienced before, and how do we build the trust so that our collaboration will be more sustainable in the future. And then the third part, I'm going to maybe not so much on the current one, but I would also give something on what sort of expectation from industry. And when it comes to our expectation, how do we meet in the middle, and how do we synergize these expectations so that both sides, ourselves and industry, will get the best out of this collaboration. So let's see how, and perhaps I also welcome everyone to share your experience, because I believe you also have something that can be shared and worth for sharing as well. And then last but not least, I'm going to give you some exercise at the end based on just a very simple ABC kind of, question that you need to fill up just to reflect on your own academic and professional context, so that hopefully, based on that, this simple exercise, you are able to recognize what will be the viable collaboration opportunity that you are currently maybe overlooked about that, but maybe that will be the potential that you might want to, might want to start to begin if you haven't yet begun anything, right? So that will be the overview that I'm going to let you have a journey throughout this session. And if you have anything to ask, just ask. Just you can unmute and then just interrupt me. I'm okay with that. All right. So because it's very good to put the question into the context before you move to the another slide. So do welcome. Please welcome to interrupt me if you think you need to clarify or maybe you need to ask question for a better understanding. Right. Now, let's begin. Right. Maybe the first thing that I would like to get your input. All right. As someone in academics. All right. So we are all in academics. Why do we need collaboration? All right. So now maybe you can scan with your handphone, or maybe if you want to put the code, go to slido.com and then you put the 1325730. And then let's see, what is your thoughts? Why do we need collaboration as academics? Right? So I give you about 5 minutes maybe to think and then to start typing on your gadget. And then maybe from there we can start our discussion. Win-win situation, all right? KPI and growth, all right. Anything else? Expand network. Okay, that's very good. To survive in academic work. Opportunities, potential, grants, co-researcher to benchmark. Okay. Right. Okay. Almost nothing meaningful gets done in solution to broaden knowledge, networking, explore more ideas, mercy, recognition. By the way, my voice a little bit shaky because somehow got a little bit sore throat. Share and gain knowledge. All right. Ummatic excellent. Wow, that is very your IIUM, right? Oh, get well soon. Oh, thank you so much. It's okay. Too much talking. The hands of Allah is with the group. Okay, transformation research, networking, collaboration, KPI. All right. Is there anything else? Anyone else? We have about 2 more minutes. Share equipments. All right. All right, and so I believe that somehow, more or less similar themes already, repeatedly mentioned. So, okay, allow me to move on. Cable. All right, so now allow me to move on. All right, so this is my thoughts, with the current landscape and the future trends, why collaboration is no longer option. I believe because one, uh, I guess the world is becoming more complex. That is where the complexity of our world right now. And then if you are looking at the current focus now is more toward global challenges, even though we have the local, but actually the global challenges also is something that very much related to us. And all these complex and I would say challenges required more collaborative efforts. So that is required not only expert from one field, but actually we need multiple field to do something, and then we need interdisciplinary approaches even more right now, and therefore we need to get fundings, to do all these interdisciplinary approaches. required funding, and definitely the funding is not within the university, I would say, but it should be looked out outside the university because there are more opportunity outside universities into the fundings. And then I would say the funders also are looking at how do we collaborate within and between different expertise to approach the problems that are common to everyone, and then having a solution that is practical enough on the ground, and then feasible enough for them to pick up and to expand those. I think this is one of why collaboration is no longer options. And then the second part, because nowadays I believe if you're looking at our you know, expectation from society, industry, community, and other stakeholders outside the university also are looking at innovations. And I believe we can appreciate that when it comes to innovation, it's required the expertise. And then in Malaysia particularly, I would say that up to 80% of the expertise is basically in universities. All right, so basically not in industries. All right, so that's why in Malaysia context, if you are looking at the statistics, majority of the experts are in the university. Therefore, for the Malaysia, a local setting, it is always important for the expertise in university to be collaborating with stakeholders outside the university, especially the industry and the society, if they are looking for innovative solutions. And this is where, when look at the local ecosystems, especially when our local industry as well as the stakeholders, they are really looking forward to have a kind of translations of expertise and the values that we have into in the practical implementation. Therefore, they're also looking at our expertise, and we're also looking at their, I would say, maybe the resources that they have, especially the fundings, and then how that actually can be complemented to what we are, aspire to as experts, as well as to what are the needs of our stakeholders outside. So therefore, the innovative parts is, I would say, mostly in our university. We are the one who are, I would say, the enablers and then drivers for that. But because of our limitation, especially the resources, we need them to be part of these, efforts, so that whatever we contribute will be felt by them, as well as they also contributed back to the society through their resources that they have and available for us to leverage. So I think this is where the unique position in Malaysia. But if you're looking at in the US and the China, actually the expert is industry. All right, so just a very minimal, I would say less than 30% in university. That's why the industry are very independent compared to the local setting. I think this is where the priority of the government, the agenda of the government when it comes to all this innovation. So that's why in our local context, we like it or we don't like it. Industry also looking forward to the relevant expertise from our sides so that they can put up the relevant resources so that the solutions can be innovative enough to solve certain problems with both sides. I would say expertise. There are maybe I would say expertise in terms of they have a lot of resources, but in our side we have a lot of ideas, a lot of methodology, a lot of experience when it comes to producing innovative solution for them. So I think it is something that quite important, and I believe this trend will be continued in the future and even more becoming more important in that sense. And we need to leverage all these landscapes for a win-win situation, just like you mentioned just now when I asked you why do we need collaboration. All right. And last but not least, nowadays, because of the advancement of the technology, and I think we really appreciate that our technology in university are not able to catch up with the technology that industry use. You know, therefore, that is where we really need to make sure that we collaborate with them, having or maybe even partnership with them so that we can leverage on their more advanced technology in the industry, and therefore we can do certain things in a common way, and then we can share certain things that will benefit for both sides. And if you are looking at trend right now, with the AI and then with the movement of the open science, therefore there is a lot of demand about data sharing, especially when it comes to the research driven as well as the industry driven data that are required to produce something that is, beneficial, and then contextualize solution to particular problems or challenges. I think these are kind of the three agencies that I would say that makes collaboration even more important right now. And if we decided to be in silo, we are going to be left behind. There is no option for that, because if we are still in our own territory, or maybe we are still in our solo movement, I would say that we are going to be irrelevant in the future, and our growth also will be very limited despite of our potential. Therefore, I think when it comes to collaboration, there are few things that we really need to seriously consider corruption, because we need resources outside our universities and higher educations. We also need to remain relevant, because sometimes our expertise, if not being used properly, it will not be expanded. So if we are aiming that we are still relevant to the societal industry, to give more impacts beyond than the campus, I would say the collaboration is something a must. It's no longer option, right? So, and then definitely, as you mentioned in the Slido just now, everyone, regardless of who you are in the higher education, we really need to grow, because the growth will support our academic career development. And with all this collaboration, I would say your growth will be faster if you are in, I think, in silo, right? So basically, these are the landscape why collaboration is no longer options. And the insight that, I learned when looking at all this aspect is basically, if you want to start something, definitely we need to network. It means that we need to build up our contacts, because the network and the contacts will provide access to us to relevant stakeholders, especially the industry that might have resources that will somehow support us to be, to be in charge of certain project to produce innovative solutions to certain challenges and problems. I guess this is where we start from the networking. But if you are aiming for growth beyond than what the projects can do, so this is where the partnerships, because partnership will provide a platform for a shared ownerships when it comes to the outcomes that you produce from the project that you're working together with industry. All right. So, do you have anything to ask at this moment? Any thoughts from anyone? Otherwise, I will continue. All right. So silent mean I can move on. All right. Okay. The second one is about, I think, we need not, I think, something that I would like to share when it comes to people always say we need to connect people. But actually, the connectivity is not a real collaboration yet, all right? Because it's about just touch and go. Connectivity is about touch and go. You mean that you contact, and then you go and without any serious thing. And if you're looking at the current reality, when looking at the networking, especially networking is just I would say creating access, right? So basically, creating access, you meet people and then you start talking something, and then basically when we don't discuss in detail when it comes to networking, and then we exchange our cards, usually, and so on and so forth. So basically, networking is the beginning, I would say, all right, because it will provide a list of people that we have contacted before, and then the people that we at least see them either face to face or nowadays maybe online, but online not as powerful as face to face. And then when we go to any events, we are always looking for potential partners, So all this basically are networking. However, networking is just open the door. Okay, remember, networking is very important to initiate something, and it's a starting point for us to look at potential doors that we want to further pursue and then to further engage so that there will be a stronger connection between us with the potential partners, I would say, for stronger connectivity. Therefore, this is where what we aim is we want to have as many as possible that we get to know people. But when it comes to collaboration and partnerships, so basically we need to be very selective because we are going to build something together. And the compatibility and the comparability of between our aims, our agenda with their aims, agenda must be there. Otherwise, it's a bit difficult to build a stronger connectivity with them, so that stronger connectivity will lead to better collaboration and hopefully partnership, because partnership is, I would say, a stronger relationships, and then the networking is the first steps to build to build a more stronger connectivity with our potential partners of collaboration. All right. So basically, when we are aiming for, we start with contact people that we know it, all right, and then start to slowly build our connectivity with them. And when there is trust, okay, the trust will be slowly built up, and that is where we are getting into a collaborative mode, I would say. And then later on, when we have much trust each other, then the partnership will form automatically, because in the partnership is the focus is about shared ownership. It means that we really need to trust each other. Otherwise, it's very difficult to move from networking to collaboration to partnership without trust foundations. All right, so this is very important. And then the activity also, if you're looking at networking and partnership, usually networking, just like I said, just collecting contacts whatsoever, is very, I would say, not that strong. But when it comes to cooperation and partnership, the activity becomes deeper, and then the collaboration also becomes more serious and have certain purpose and agenda to take to go together. All right, and the result also is about the long term, usually about building up solution to certain challenges, or maybe the gaps, issues, problems that are addressed by both parties, between us and the collaborators. So basically, networkings will open the door, as many doors possible, but we need to decide which door we need to start first, and then we need to build the trust foundation so that we can start building our collaboration and partnerships with the I would say targeted partners that relevant to ours, and we also relevant to them, right? So this is why. And that's I'd like to put my thought as well. There is no such thing collaborative in literature, but from my observation, since I'm also medical doctor, I would say sometimes the collaborations can be a disease as well. I would say this is where the I put that term of collaborativitis, something that's inflammations of the collaboration because I'm not really sure, but I observe that there are certain, observation. There are so many collaborations, there are so many things, but the collaboration does not bring us to anywhere, And sometimes it seems that it's very dysfunction and doesn't really contribute to anything. So this is where the something I would say we need to be a little bit careful. Yes, we want to collaborate, but I would say we need to also looking at is there any sign and symptoms that the collaborations are getting toward dysfunctional collaborations that going to collaborative, right? So this is where from my observation, for example, there are so much meetings in the collaboration, but it's nothing in action. Something that I don't know. I observe that a lot, and then everybody in the groups are being forced to do something. Without willingness, without patience, and then sometimes they feel so stressed and not really. I would say the environment not really motivating and positive. They are quarrel, but they are saying they are collaboration. They are collaborating. I think it is where if you observe this kind of sign and symptoms in your collaboration, beware of that. You need treatment, right? You need treatment. Otherwise, sometimes it's good to stop if the collaboration doesn't getting you anywhere and getting worth even more. Something that watch out this part. But I also looking at the true collaboration, which is very synergy. We can see the environment, the vibes, the passions, the motivations. Even though it's only one to one, but they produce a lot more than one to one. All right, as compared to the collaborativitis just now, right? So, no, from my observation, I have seen, and I also have experienced it as well. When we are collaborating in the synergistic collaboration, we can see the shared purpose, our engagement, we are looking forward to engage with them. We feel that we are part of the team. And then we also feel that we are sharing whatever results that produce, which is a shared ownership of that. And then the way that communication happen is very effective, not really lengthy, so many words, but nothing works and then everybody in that collaborations are responsible, accountable, and contributing in the way that they are supposed to contribute. Right. So I think this is something that we also need to be cautious as well. We need to know the signs and symptoms of the collaborativitis, and hopefully we can also promote the synergistic collaboration. And hopefully, if we have that, we need to maintain and strengthen so that it can go to the synergistic partnership. So that because this will give momentum to us, they will boost the motivation for us to do more. They will give a lot more beyond that on that collaboration. Sometimes all this will give you more opportunities that will put your visibility in certain level that you never be imagined before, and a lot of things happen when you really in synergy collaboration. Yes, Muhammad Hafiz, go ahead. You can
Saiful, Prof.
unmute. Yeah,
Thank you very much. Sorry, I cannot turn on my video.
it's okay.
Just okay. I have question. Sometimes in collaboration, right? So it happens that dispute can happen, right? So like
Yeah,
when we have certain topic, for example, and we feel that maybe this is not relevant to one of the members, and then should we include or should not to include? And then sometimes when we have collaboration, we're also thinking about what I call the contribution of everyone. We don't want people to just be a rider rather than
Yeah, yeah.
actively collaborate. How do you overcome this problem,
All right.
Prof?
Okay, so this is something maybe just maybe my perspective based on my experience through the collaboration. If we found that this kind of I would say not contributing partners, usually I will communicate with them honestly, you know, and even to avoid that to happen, because it's always good to prevent, based on our experience, and then we know that this will happen. So in the initial collaboration, I always put I highlight something that what is the shared purpose and what is our accountability for every aspect. And I always say, if you are not willing to contribute, you can always communicate with me. Directly and then transparently, because we are moving the project. We need to achieve that. If you think that you are not willing to contribute, then let me know, because we can find someone else. So I think I always do that, and somehow that works for me. I'm not really sure whether it work for you, but I think the transparency of effective communication with our potential partners before we collaborate, that would prevent. But if, let's say, you have done that and it's happened in the middle of the way, I think there is where the effective communication between us and other members, and the respect, and the accountability, the values that we have, we should be able to directly communicate with them and resolve as a group. All right, resolve as a group. And I also have that experience in the international collaboration. We have, I think, more than 20 institutions, but one or two institutions are not really not doing their work, not really doing their work. We can see clearly the milestone, everything not move from their side, and and the whole project require everyone to move. So what we do, as I said just now, communicate with their respective PIC, and then together with other core members, explore their problems, the challenges, and then try to ask them why things are not working. And then sometimes we need to respect their sometimes unexpected problem happen their side. So we need to be more empathetic to them, but at the same time, we are telling them the truth. For example, the two or three institutions will remove them from the group after get consensus. I mean that what I'm trying to say is, if happen, I think transparent and effective communication with that particular I would say in the team work manner, not to jeopardize them, but telling them, if you are not working, we cannot achieve the outcome. It's better for you to leave, something like that, so you can replace with others. I think this is my own experience dealing with the international collaboration, whereby a few of them are not really move according to the milestone, but being transparent, um, share whatever we feel, because the agenda is not our personal agenda. It's about the whole team agenda that really need everyone accountability. So if they cannot do it, then we ask them to leave, or maybe we will make them leave the team. That one of my experience basically. Mm.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you.
So be honest with them. I think they know their problem. But before that, I also like to remind myself, try to explore what's happening to them and be more empathetic, be human, because when we start, actually they have in different position, but in the middle of the way, we need to anticipate. There are several conditions that make them not able to proceed accordingly. So be more empathetic, be humanistic, and put our respect also to the end. Do not quarrel with them. Who knows? In the future, they might come back and want to collaborate. But we because our experience with them, so we need to be a little bit more cautious. And later on, I will share a few tips, maybe that are useful for all of you to consider. All right. So thank you so much, Dr. Hafiz. Anyone else like to say something in relation to Dr. Hafiz question just now? All right. So otherwise, all right. So these are two things that myself, when I collaborate with a certain group, I will see these two spectrum. If I feel that there are a lot of signs and symptoms that moving toward collaborative, something like that. I will slowly, maybe withdraw from the group politely, right? That is my way of collaboration. If I see this symptom, not going anywhere, nothing work whatsoever, I will put up my intentions that it doesn't fit with my way of collaboration. But if I see that there's a true collaboration, something like the synergy, and then I will make sure that I contribute most and to maintain this collaboration, because from my own experience, this really help us a lot. Because even though it sounds like very selective, but it's always good to be selective and know which collaboration will synergize us. Because the synergistic collaboration that will develop our career further, not the other way, not the other part, the disease, I would say, sick collaboration. So we ourselves do not trap, all right, ourselves in the collaborative practice, but do engage and perform when you have really a good collaboration, all right? And update, I would say upgrade, try to upgrade. When you find one, the true collaboration, try to upgrade to the partnership. You will see the wonderful results of whatever networking that you have started before. That's my own, my own experience dealing with all both sides, both sides. Let's see what you have afterward, right? And then the most important thing is do not go overboard, all right? So do not over engineer, know when to build and when to just cooperate, right? So there's something that we ourselves can feel that when that's happened, right? Okay, now I would like to ask you, all right? So based on that, collaboration, collaborativitis, mixture of both, not sure. So maybe you can scan. This is very anonymous. Don't worry about that. I'm not going to track you whatsoever. Just want to understand which is yours. Right? Because I think it's always good to share your experience so that does it make sense? And then other people also can learn from you. Mixture, all right? That is good. Anyone else? Collaboration, that's very good. That's very good. Not sure, all right. All right. Keep coming. My own experience, yes, I mixture. My one is mixture. But after going through all those, and I can identify which one is real collaboration. After going through all many, interesting experience. All right. So, all right. That's great. Many of you are basically in the collaboration, which is the positive one. And many of you also mixture, not sure. All right. That's okay. Yeah, give you maybe 1 or 2 more minutes to think and to respond.
Prof, while we are waiting for the results, may I
Yes, go ahead.
kind of
Yeah.
add, for example, a new lecturer, I'm looking at the list of names here, is a mix of maybe young lecturers as well as very senior lecturers, maybe even
Mm.
professor inside this meeting. Now, let's say a young lecturer, 5 years of experience, not to
Mm.
say attached, but finding a professor as the, say, what do you call mentor, and
Mm.
then
Yeah.
type of collaboration. The professor is the PI, and then but some maybe argue or recommend that they are being, say, being used sort of. But the professor
Yes.
sees that this is a way that you enjoy having me as the partner, and then you become co-author of a paper and so on. But the new lecturer says that, oh no, but he's been doing all those sorts of jobs, all the groundwork, but the professor enjoys being the PI and so on. Is
Uh,
this a collaboration in that sense? Because obviously the professor, well, gives all the entitlement for that kind of opportunity and so on. Or should the new lecturer be expecting more of the collaboration, more of the mentorship kind of direction, even guiding them to career growth and so on? What would that kind of, well, mentorship be? Or that's not a collaboration, that is a mentorship, and they should be following certain principles of mentorship. So what's your thought on this, bro?
okay, so thank you so much. All right. So in terms of that, yes, I think whatever you mentioned just now, I also observe. I know maybe my observation, right? My observations and also my own experience when it comes to this, I would say the reality. All right, the reality. Yes, there are certain things we really need to find a good mentor that can guide us for a good collaborating, a good collaboration. Um, as when I was junior, no, this is my I mentioned when I was new a lecturer, and then I always look up a mentor that uh, do not take advantage. See, they are mentor, but actually they are hidden agenda. They want to take advantage because they see us as a potential, I would say potential of so many things because we are so new, and then we also are looking at something that very enthusiastic because we are very young at moment. So the key is trying to find mentor that is we know that from the track records, she or he will not take advantage. I have this kind of mentor before, and I also have mentor that take advantage. Yes, as you mentioned just now. But how do we do that at a young academic? So I think first thing, because we are doing something try and error, all right? Because we are experimenting, we are window shopping, that kind of window shopping, but you need to keep your diary because I keep my diary. Who is the mentor that will not take advantage, not even not even put so many criteria even before to make collaboration with him or her. All right, for example, all right, I give you an example from my own experience in these two kind of mentors for the collaboration. One mentor, he or she never ask about, oh, if you include me, then I need to be, corresponding, or maybe you need to put me a PI, or maybe you need to, there are so many, all these are basically for me, I will put signs of mentor that I think I should avoid in the future. All right. I have my list. And then the second one is the list that mentors are not taking advantage at all. You know, not at all. So altruistic, I would say it's very difficult to find that kind of altruistic mentor that he or she always looking for me, but she or he never take advantage of me. So I think all the mentor I will list down, and then what I do, this is my personal experience. If related to you, then go ahead. But not related to you, you can put it outside, not aside. No, those mental I will keep for things with them. I have few. I cannot mention the name. I have few that I always keep everything, the project, the paper, the collaboration outside, getting guidance, starting initial contact and so on and so forth with the mentor that I know, this altruistic mentor. Okay, now what I want to tell is this is about ourselves to look at mentor that do not take advantage. We are always experimenting, try and error. Whatever happen, if let's say you got a mentor that take advantage, just redha. Okay, don't worry. Just redha. Keep move on. And then find the mentor that is not taking advantage. You will find. You will find. All right. It's not everyone's bad and not everyone good. All right. So basically, they are really good people. It's just matter of how do we filter. That is our task. And do not blame others. Respect, because that's the way of their doing. That's okay. We respect, but they also need respect for us not to collaborate with them or make them mentor. So find your mentor appropriately, find your collaborator appropriately. You will find anyone a good day. Just keep moving, keep exploring, and then keep dreaming of having all these opportunities. So don't give up. All right. So I have been through all those, and now I think at the stage when now I'm the one who are going to mentor people, but not take advantage. No, I think I remind myself and you yourself as well. When you become at a certain position, remember this: do not take advantage of your mentee.
Thank you, Prof.
All right. So I think this is where we need to build up from ourselves, and hopefully that the ripple effects will go beyond yourself, and hopefully even more people keep looking at you, and because they know that we are not taking advantage on anyone. You are going to be a good collaborator, and your rezeki also will be much better. Sometimes, if you do this, you are not taking advantage for anyone. The opportunities knock your door. Instead of you are looking for opportunities.
Sure.
All right. I'm not sure whether I answer, but that is something that, from my perspective, when I was junior, and my perspective when I'm here at this moment.
Very
Yeah.
clear guidance, Prof.
Yeah. Just enjoy your moment. All right. So don't worry. Experimenting, but filter. Because you are the one who is going to deal with all this. So filter properly. Right. The bad experience sometimes become a very good lesson for us, right? Okay, and don't forget respect. Even though there are people taking advantage, but respect because they are who they are, right? So, and doa ke mereka lah, basically. Hopefully not taking, or maybe change in the good way later on, right? Okay, so not bad. So at least almost half of you are basically having very good collaboration. Well done, keep it. And then what? So maybe 40% of you have mixture of that. That's okay. Just experiment it and find something that that can make our experience becoming more mature, and then later on we know which one is good, which is bad. Right? And not sure, don't worry. I know maybe you are not yet started any collaboration, but don't worry. Learn from others, because learn from others, especially learn from the those 46%, 46%, because it seems that they are very good in finding the collaborators. All right, because it's not easy to find a synergistic collaboration, but when you find, keep it and then strengthen it, because hopefully the collaboration become your partners. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. And good to know that not everyone got everything collaborated by this. All right. So that's good. All right. Now, as I mentioned just now, trust. All right. I would like to emphasize a little bit more about trust, because any good collaboration, it begins with trust. Right. So when it comes to the trust, there are certain things that you need to know, because trust sometimes invisible. Trust is not seen, but it's felt, right? So basically, when not seen, when it's felt, so we need to somehow have experience. Then we can feel, right? So this is where, when it comes to the trust, how do we know that we can see that the trust is building up? One is the action over intention, I would call it. No, this is where it's very important. Look at the action rather than intention, because sometimes the action will speak louder. I don't think not sometimes, but most of the time. Yeah, for example, they are saying A, B, C, D, E, but when it comes to intention, actions, nothing. You know, they promise so many things, but when it comes to actions, nothing. So watch out this sign and symptoms of not trustable, okay, collaboration. And look at the consistency. All right, the consistency of our collaborators in terms of delivering what it's supposed to be. All right, so sometimes, yes, action is okay, but the action is not directly moving toward what it's supposed to be. All right, so, all right, yes, looks like they have certain things to do, but whatever they do, it doesn't really fit to our milestone, our activities that we already agreed, the objective, and so on and so forth. All right? So you need to see the consistency. So if the actions, and you can see the consistency of action toward the same direction or shared direction that you already agreed upon, that's okay. It means that the trust is building up. And then the aligning action with the values. This is where the integrity. Because sometimes, yes, consistent, but how about the way that we do? Does it following what it's supposed to be? All right. Is it following the protocol? Is it following the ethics? Following whatever issue related to integrity? All right. So I think there is something that actions, consistency, the integrity. All right, and last but not least is about the transparency. Right, so how open they are when it comes to resolving certain problems. Does their motives aligned with the shared intention and purpose that we already agreed at the beginning of our collaborations? Is it do they have relevant expertise or capabilities that they can contribute to our collaboration? Because sometimes they do not have anything actually. They just have to collaborate and to write. I just mentioned just now, certain people I have seen, they want to be in the team because they know the team perform, but he or she actually do not know what to do in the team. Just riding. Keluar paper, you get paper. This one dapat. Oh, yeah. But actually, if you ask the whole team, we know that this one, two or people doesn't really contribute. Doesn't really contribute. So if you have this kind of people, it means that there is something that the trust is an issue, right? So we cannot trust them. Why? Because they do not really have the capacity, the capability, the ability to contribute to make the projects in the way that we expected. At the end, they are riding, but because they already, being endorsed as part of the team, because their name is in the whatever grant or whatever collaboration, whatever, we need to put them in any material that we produce. See? Otherwise, they make noise, Oh, why my name's not there? Why? But actually, they are not even do anything. All right, so that's happened as well. I have that kind of experience as well. But how do we do it? All right, so again, effective communications. All right, so we need to make sure that they realize they are not, for example, just a simple thing, the authorship. Remember the authorship criteria? We are telling them, you are not fulfilling a few characters. So I can acknowledge you, but I cannot put you as author. as transparent as that. All right, so this is where the trust, because we need to really put this as in a serious way. I have deal with with my even my collaborators, but because I show them, can you tick out of four, authorship criteria, which one do you fulfill? All right, and then tick, and only two out of four. So I say, okay, if two out of four, I can just acknowledge you. I cannot put you in authorship. To that extent. All right, it's not easy, but the most important, be transparent, and then I would say communicate effectively, but with respect, and tell them why, why they are not entitled to be the authorship because of this, and this is where the integrity come into the place. And if the person still argue with you and insist you to be author, you can exclude him or her in the future project because he or she is not having integrity. But there are certain collaborators, yes. I have, I have experience. Yes, yes. They acknowledge. Okay, that's okay. You can put my name as acknowledgement because I know I don't fulfill. So that's okay. They are part of it, but they actually have insight that they are not fulfilling the authorship criteria. Therefore, they can be only acknowledged, but not in the authorship position. Right? So it's not easy to do, but we can start to build it because we need to find trusted collaborators, and we also need to be able to be trusted by others. Build up all this the trust foundation, and believe me, you will do wonder, and you will keep attracting trusted people come to you when you start to trust, to embed trust in whatever collaboration or anything you do in your network. All right, so so this is something that the foundation, and we build once we build the trust within the correct foundation, correct support, we will connect with the correct people, and it's just like a magnet, you will attract something that really attached to you with trust. All right, but if you start with nothing that not trusted, then you will get a lot of things not trusted as well, because magnet always attract something that is in the positive way. All right. So the core principle here is when talk about trust is earned through action, not intention, and we should be never assume trust. All right, never assume distrust, distrust. No, 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 no. Try it. Look at the actions. Look at the consistency, how they are, put the integrity in place, and how transparent they are. If you can look at all these aspects, you will see something much better than having more collaboration. What you cannot trust them, right? And then I personally think without this foundation, collaboration will remain fragile and prone to, problems or collapse or whatsoever. All right. So I think start to build trust, and then find someone that can be trusted by you, but look at the action rather than the verbs or the talking or the intentions. Sometimes intention very good, but the action doesn't really follow the intention. All right. So this is something that I personally observe, experience, as well as I'm looking at good examples of collaboration. They always built based on trust, and both parties are trusted, and we also being trusted. We entrust them, and all this collaboration will be trusted, synergized collaboration that will move everyone to the right direction and will grow everyone in a good, positive manner. All right. Anyone? Yes.
I would like to ask questions. Thank
Yeah.
you for the topic about the trust. I'm Dr. Rika from engineering.
Mhm.
I have been a student before when I did my PhD under two collaborators which are connected by me. So I can see the role of students to actually connect these two collaborators and involve the discussions. But this is what I realized when I become lecturer, when I have a collaborators. For example, I was the co. It's hard for me to see the students as the bridge when it comes to the collaboration, especially when connecting two different disciplines. So at the end of the day, previously when I was the connector, become the bridge between the two collaborators with different disciplinary, both of them become co-corresponding in whatever they publish. Because the content 50-50, their contribution become 50-50. And the students really take care about these two input and try to discuss. Okay, this Prof Ed mentioned this, Prof B mentioned this. So how to connect? But the trust when I become lecturer here, I realized that thing was missing. And to the extent sometimes the direction change, not combining both. At the end of the day, it's not a collaboration. This looks like a manipulations, which taking others people punya expertise. So it's hard for me to say this because not so many people have similar experience like what I did.
Yes, I can understand you.
Yeah, I can understand because and then at the end of the day, I have to find collaborators with a good chemistry that can understand this 50-50 situation. Because 50-50 means both of you know your own expertise and how you want to direct both will grow together under these two expertise. But this thing I have been before and I realize it's hard to find, but I do find somebody who understand about this. And for this kind of collaborator, I maintain in the collaboration. So I would like to ask your opinion, why it is very difficult for students to actually understand their roles to bridge the collaborations and the roles of supervisor and co-supervisor, for example. And then I have another questions as well. This is about collaboration with industry. When you have collaboration with industry, usually you have to put so many things confidential. Okay, but you know you also need to share something because it is related to your punya KPI at university.
Okay, understood.
And then sometimes you know industry, diorang pun ada orang punya level, oh cannot this, cannot that when you do the collaboration. But when somebody suggests, why don't you collaborate the same thing with other industry or other company? What you should do as academician? I feel that if I'm doing something like that, I breach the trust with the industry because I'm doing the same thing with other industry atau other company like competitor. So how can we navigate when we face this kind of challenges? We know that our expertise can go to different companies but with the same field and areas. But we cannot just try all. At the end of the day, we will break our trust with the existing company that we already collaborate.
All right. So, okay. Wow, there's a lot of experience.
Thing.
A lot of experience. That's very good. All right. That's very good. At least you are alive. Okay. So maybe the first one. All right. So pertaining to the students, why the student cannot see this? I believe one of the big limitation of student is because they are, I would say, their first time in this kind of collaboration. Right. That's why they are students. And this is where the role of supervisors to educate our students to build, we call it understandings about all these fundamental issues. Because, you know, students always students, even though they are PhD students, and there's always a novice in the area, especially when it comes to the new area. And then collaboration is not everyone daily jobs or maybe tasks. So maybe, you know, for your information, the student, the first time he or she as a student collaborating in different fields, maybe first time. So I think the rule of supervisor, we need to understand our student first. If let's say the student already have a lot of experience, but still do not see this one, this is where I think we need to show them by examples and then make them understand and be firm when it comes to certain things that really not in a good way, especially the integrity part, because the students grow, we also grow, we learn from each other, and then I always approach this matter with I would say educating them, and then let them discuss transparently and then tell our honest experience in a respective way so that we hopefully grow together even though we are finding a lot of difficulties and conflicts between what we believe and what they believe. All right, so I think there is a one of thing that maybe the supervisor can play a lot more roles, and definitely it's not easy, I would say, but it can be done, right? It can be done. In terms of the when we discuss with others collaborators, especially when 50-50 situation, definitely we our intention is to be part of a significant authors, definitely. And then sometimes things happen. For example, suddenly we are not in the significant authorship, yet they are the one who take the significant authorship, especially when it comes to KPI, because we know authorship orders is matter when it comes to KPI, academic career, promotion, and so on and so forth. But nowadays, in terms of the authorship, if there are strong justifications, many journals right now or many publishers right now allowed multiple corresponding. So I
Yeah, that
think
was what I faced before.
yes, yes. So now allow multiple corresponding, and I think with that new developments among publisher, especially I would say renowned publisher, previously they do not allow, but now they allow because they know that there are certain project basically multiple expertise with the same weightage of contribution that justified enough to be significant roles in authorship, whereby the most important is corresponding lah basically, or maybe the main author. So main author is the project leader usually, or maybe the students if the students doing the project, not just conducting the project but leading, and corresponding is the way we can always share right now. So I think sharing of corresponding nowadays is becoming more common because of that justification, equal weightage of contribution. I think with that approach, maybe now we can build a better trust to each other. And I like the way that you mentioned just now. You put your trusted list. I would say trusted list, isn't it? So it's always good, when you have this kind of mixed experience. Put maybe make your own trusted list so that you know which one is to maintain, which one is should be maybe okay lah, never mind. After this one, I'm not going to collaborate with you. I think that's a good way of having your own trusted list, and it's easier for you to in the future you can which one is the way to go when it comes to collaboration. And regarding the industry, I will talk a little bit more after this. All right.
Thank you.
I will talk a little bit more about this because industry also have some things. Never mind. All of this basically make us wiser, mature, and the most important is respect whatever they do and make dua to them, and then hopefully they will become better in the future. All right. And keep updating your trusted list. All right. So that's very important because they will help you to grow if you have a good trusted list. All right. So now let's move on. All right. So these are four. I always say the trust continuum. All right, a roadmap for growth. All right. So basically, if you are start to contact, it means that you are creating awareness. All right. So this is where the usual way we do is we go to conference, we go to exhibition, we participate in competition, whatever that can make people aware our existence. All right. So basically, it's about contact. So creating contact is the starting point of the networking. And do not stay in your room because no contact in your room. Right? Go outside, move around, go to any academic platform, involve in anything because that will give you context and that makes people see you and aware that you are in this kind of expertise. So the first trust continuum is start make contacts. All right. Do not stay just in your room. No, no. And when I was, I still remember when I was HOD, I asked my staff, why you always sit in the room? You don't have anything to do? Go outside, go there, go here, make sure. Because why? Because no, I just want them to go outside and make contact first. Otherwise, nobody knows their expertise if you just keep in your room, you know. All right, so that's the first step, and this is something that I can smile right now because of that. And then when you make contacts, now the second trust continuum, start conversations. All right, do not keep quiet and put your contact just in the contact list. All right. If they are relevant to you, start conversation. If you are in a face-to-face, start talking with them. All right. If you have gone back and start emailing to them, as simple as, oh, this is our picture, or maybe future collaboration we can blah blah blah. Now they have to email, WhatsApp. There are so many platforms right now. So start conversation. Don't keep quiet. All right. Especially when you found someone that's really, really relevant to you. All right. So start communicating with them. Because if you don't start, maybe they won't start. All right. So be more proactive when it comes to collaboration, especially we want to explore what kind of trust we can build through collaboration with them. So start conversation, right? Exchange your idea and so on. And then after that, now you start. If let's say based on the conversation that you have done, oh, okay. In terms of you have common things with them, you have a common interest, you have something lah to work with them, something like that. You can feel it. All right. So now it's time for you to start something with them. Maybe small collaboration. Don't go too big lah. Basically, slow steps. No, slowly make a small collaboration as simple as maybe we can write a review paper together. Oh, who knows, because we expert, maybe can start write a small paper that do not require for us to have any grant or what, which is the review paper, and you can send. Oh, okay, this guy good or not, blah blah, and then you start to talk about. Oh, would you like to start a small grant, maybe internal grant, but we want to invite you to be part of our collaborators as external researcher. If we do is internal grant, but invite them to test the water. All right, so and build up slowly and together. And then once you have developed a trusted and synergized collaboration, and now start to go a little bit more serious, which is the partnership. All right, partnership, you blah MOA, MOU, whatsoever lah. That's commitment that everyone knows what each other do, and then what's the big things that you want to gather in this partnership. So if you can start contact, conversation, collaboration, partnership. So I think, as I mentioned, I always believe trust developed through actions, not intention and talking. Right? Actions really matters. Right? That's why actions speak loudest. All right? So action. and don't rush to step forward without laying the groundwork. This is something that just remind myself. Don't rush because we are so excited or the pressure is so strong to have all this, but you forget about you need to build the groundwork first before you can go further. So that is just my advice. You maybe you have a different opinion, but myself, I always start with contact. I will make conversation and start a small thing, writing small paper just to get if even small paper also they cannot cannot contribute. What else? If you go a bigger collaboration, definitely they won't, right? So see, the continuum of trust that I'm sharing here, that is purely based on my observations and experience throughout for the past almost 20 years in this academic things, right? Especially the collaboration. Right. So I hope that makes sense. And now this is where I would like to make a kind of the terrain of influence in collaboration. All right. So there are so many collaboration. Sometimes we academic to academic collaboration, and most of the time it's about research, innovation, and sometimes teaching. So basically it's academic. That is very common, right? Academic to academic. And academic to industry is something that one of you mentioned just now. There are different culture, academic have different expectation, industry have different expectation. Industry mostly are so worried about the ROI product or maybe rules and regulation, secret rate whatsoever because they are very competitive. But academic sound very collaborative. So see, the two culture are not really how to put this because they have the funding. But the competitiveness of their industry sometimes make them not willing to share whatever they have found. But academic always want to share everything with you. So later on, I will touch a little bit about that. Academic community not so as challenging as academic industry because usually community also want to share, academic also want to share. Everything is together, shared. So academic and community is just like academic. It's just a matter of we need to tone down a little bit because sometimes community do not understand jargon, right? So community is about jargon. Do not use our own language in academic and trying to do something with the community because they are not the same level. Need to tone down a little bit is maybe your research required modification to adjust to the community level, right? But that's the challenging aspect as well, but not as challenging as academic industry. I will talk a little bit more about that. And we need to also realize which level of collaboration. Are you talking about national collaboration? Is it regional? Is it global? Because the commitment, the accountability, the expertise, the ability of your teams must be at that level as well. Otherwise, it's very difficult for us to go global with only local experience. We need someone from a global experience as well. So I think all these are basically the terrain of our collaborations, how that we influence our decision, and hopefully we realize which one we should go. And at the end of the day, I think all this will contribute to our career development as academics, and therefore try to build your own portfolio, right? I mean that portfolio approach. Academic. What is your portfolio? Are you good at that? Maybe you have very good portfolio on academic. How about academic community? What sort of portfolio you have? Track record you have? Academic industry? So how? So because all this portfolio is very important for you to see where is your influence. All right, because sometimes the influence that we have might attract people who can be influenced by our influence. Right? All right, so these are 4 domains. I hope it makes sense. But now I would like to just to get your inputs. Which terrain is your most priority at this moment? Maximum 2 option. Can you fill up so that I can see where are you right now? Are you in academic industry, academic community, or even you go beyond already, academic community and national global? something like that. Not only local one. You go beyond. Yeah, you can scan as usual. Ah, right. Right. Okay, any more? I just want to see where are you. Oh, you're already 10:25. I have more slides. Ah, academic community. Oh, all right. That's interesting. All right. So majority of your academic, but no, maybe academic, but a different level. All right. Academic community, all right. Well, anyone else like to share what is your most priority at this moment? Hmm. Anyone else? Okay, one more minute. One more minute because time is ticking. I have more slides. Too much talking. All right. So, okay. So thank you so much for for sharing your.
No, Doctor, just I want to know one thing.
Yeah.
I think her last comment, which is quite appealing to others, when the students are your supervisees, and then most of the faculties are requesting students during submission that you must have X number of papers published. Of course, IIU is not so stringent as long as the paper is in index journal, but UM, other universities, they are looking, well, it must be Q1, Q2, and this and that. So as if like it is becoming a fashion that every students must have publication, and that's where the supervisors come in. So these supervisors, the number one issue is whether they should be the first author or second. Let me answer also the question partially. I would always give the chance to the student to be first author because it is their work. Second, then what about the supervisor's role? Should they be or they not be part of the team of the authors? And if they have to be, then what role they have to? Sometimes, that issue comes about Scopus and this and that. All these journals are asking money. And students are always, they are limit in terms of their pocket money. So even the lecturers comes into to financially support them from his her own pocket or maybe from project money, whatever. So these are the issues that what is your takeaway on issues related to the lecturer, supervisor and supervisee relationship when it comes to publications?
All right. So this will be challenging questions. All right. So thank you so much. So maybe if you're
Because
looking,
I pick up from what she left earlier.
yes,
So
yes.
that part was yes.
Yes, yes. Basically, one is we need to respect the policy of every university. I think that is very important. The second one is about the integrity when it comes to the authorships relationship between supervisee and supervisors. All right. So if you are looking at in general, usually the supervisors will heavily guiding the supervisee. Am I right? The main supervisor, I mean.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
the main supervisor is heavily guiding, mentoring, coaching, everything. The supervisee. So therefore, the accountability of the project is shared between the supervisor and supervisee. That is very clear, you know. And in fact, in terms of the authorship, I would recommend, depending on how much the supervisor supervises accountability into the project. And definitely, I do agree with you. I always, similar to me, I always give my students as a first author because, as you said, they are the one who are working very hard, even though we are guiding, mentoring, coaching, and whatever to ensure that everything is in right directions. But for myself, I always believe like yours. I give the opportunity for a candidate to be the main author unless the policy do not allow that. So far as I'm concerned, in Malaysia, majority of policy allow the student to be the first author. Am I right? So I think there's no issue. But now is the corresponding, right? The corresponding is depending on how many supervisors are collaborating and contributing their expertise toward the project done by the students. Right? This is go back about the shared significant now. All right. If let's say yes, the only person who really significant in guiding the project is you or me, it means that the accountability is on us. Therefore, with that kind of accountability, okay, I always discuss with students, is that possible that the myself and the other supervisor become the corresponding author? We discuss transparently with the student. And most of the time, student will say yes, because they know in terms of accountability to answer any question post-publication, there will be corresponding. So the corresponding will take accountability post-publication. So if there is not an issue, and then yes, the supervisors or maybe the supervisor, depend on the weightage of contribution, will be the significant authorship, which is the corresponding author, because the corresponding author usually will be the most responsible person to answer anything if issues happen in the paper. So I believe that is go back to the trust and the accountability of every single players in the team, the students, the supervisors, and how their contribution to the project and how accountable they are when it comes to the positions of authorships. I think this is always my, I would say, consistent judgment when it comes to authorships. Yeah. And right now, as I mentioned, many publishers allowed multiple corresponding authors based on strong justification.
Yeah, because the issue sometimes is also the equity in what you call nominal value. Sometimes if you students send the papers to some established journals and they put if the students are PhD students alone, the journal don't take seriously. But if they carry the name of the professor along,
yes.
so that also itself contributes to the rate of acceptance level.
Yes.
So that also is in a way intangible contribution. And sometimes I get surprised. Some of friends from other parts of the world, they just use my name for nothing. And when I discover it, I question them, hey, hello. If there's something goes wrong, the blame partially will go to me as well.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
yes.
then I realize that this is intangible value as well. To use somebody's name, established name, and then you have the chances of your paper accepted very high.
Yes, yes. I also have that kind of experience. Which somehow, hey, why my name there?
I see this is more in the subcontinent, basically.
Yeah.
So normally not in the Western countries, but exceptions are there. So usually in the subcontinent, they always write for free as a friend and whatever. So that another area for really, which has both the side of the coins plus as well as negative. So if thing goes wrong, you are responsible.
Yes. Yes, that's sometimes make us worry about the integrity just now, you know.
Exactly.
I think this is where, yes, we are excited that kind of things have our names, publication, but sometimes it's a quite a concern as well if anything happens.
Okay,
No,
terima kasih. Proceed. You got so many other things to
all
talk
right.
about.
No problem, no problem. We can always discuss. All right. All right. So thank you so much. So it means that based on what you have shared now, majority of you in academic, which is all right. But I think significant of you in the academic industry collaboration. All right. So now let's move on. All right. So initiation. All right. Uh, I always believe to initiate collaboration, we need to identify what are the problems actually we want to solve together. And then I also noticed that many of our our contacts, I mean that they want to straight to the MOU. You know, I think that is something that I myself not really eager to start MOU with someone I just contact. All right. So, but it's happened a lot. Even we just start contact, we don't even do anything. Suddenly MOU, MOA, which is it's a bit it's a bit risky, I would say, because we are not yet sure whether we can trust them or not, right, before we sign it. But I think because of the pressure, because of the demand, whatsoever, everyone will start with MOU before we start anything else. And the activity come later after MOU. Yes, not wrong, definitely not wrong, but I think for strategic, strategic move is always put MOU a bit later after you have done something together. All right, so I think my take is it's always to start something that is doable, which is I would say start small. All right, maybe you can use writing paper together, not involving money, maybe by project or maybe seek grant if you have anything, just to test the dynamics of our relationship. Can I trust you, or can you trust me? Are you comfortable, or can we work together and get along together in a good way or not? So I think I always start with that. And then the second one is build credibility. So basically, through this small kind of starting point, so basically, can we together build credibility just for the track record, you know? And hopefully, if okay, then we go ahead. But if not okay, maybe we can have to relook and maybe something that we can improvise whatsoever. Because I believe that is always do something low stake activity at the beginning, especially we just met and then do something that is small, low stake activity that allow both of us, both party actually, to build, to build trust, and then hopefully we can see how compatible we are. All right, in the way that we are, our expertise, how synergized between your area and my area. Can we work together or not? Or it's nothing to do. It's not synergistic at all, and so on. Right. So I think there's something that just a little bit sharing of tips, I would say, in terms of how to initiate collaborations and the mechanics of initiation. How do we proceed if, let's say, yes, all right, we think we can work together. So basically, what we do is I always discuss what are the problem we want to address actually together. So identifying the shared problems that both of us are interested, and what is the common things that we want to do, and can we do it together to solve this one, right? So I think the first step is identify shot together when with our collaborators. And how are we going? Do you have grants, or I have grant, or I can take this one? I have internal grant. I have, okay. You take your internal grant, I take my internal grant. So see, just to this is the pilot phase of collaborations. If let's say things work very well, yes. So a kind of proof of concept. So basically, okay, actually we are doing well. So these are 3 steps: shared problem, pilot phase, and proof of concept, so that all these we'll build a track record that we are working well together, and now it's time for us to scaling up. See all this strategy. But this one just my observation and my experience when it comes to this kind of initiations of collaboration. I believe you also have your own, but at the end of the day, start with problems, not discipline. Because discipline can come to the problem and to solve the problem and come up with solution together. Right? Now, something that industry and academia, all right? I just put in one diagram. So this is something that I myself also need to understand when we are dealing with industry, because basically what I realized, industry have their own culture, academia also, we also have our own culture. And what I can see clearly in terms of the different culture between academia and industry. So the first, I think the academia is always looking for publications, novelty, amount of money, whatsoever, something that related to the KPI. And then whatever being set by ministry and universities. And usually they like to have a long term. All right. So this is something. But we also need to understand when we come to the industry, the culture is not like academia. They are talking about return of investment, speed. You need to do it fast. But our side, we need to follow the methodology. The methodology have to follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the industry cannot wait for that kind of, I would say, not non-speed, rate of work. But the industry always speed, agile. They are talking about fiscal, Q1, Q2, I mean not Q1 publication, but they have the fiscal quarters of financial output, outcome, everything. So basically, we can see that there is a clash of culture between academia and industry. Right? So that is where those who are in the academia industry, they have a lot of challenges to harmonize and synergize how this can be, I would say, in the middle lane, in the middle lane. So because the expectations are different. All right, this is where we academic want to translate on the ground through the industry resources whatsoever, but industry also want to something that give to us that they want to make it as soon as possible. All right, so this is where, from my experience, we need to communicate clearly when we begin our collaboration industry, make everything clear and transparent, make something that is consensus between both, and then get feedbacks, especially from the industry. And do not avoid feedback, because sometimes feedback is very important, and that also can help us to understand the industry as well as industry understand us. But most of the time, from my observation, both parties are trying to understand each other, but to find middle way, definitely there is no better way is to have feedback, dialogue, progress, report, and so on and so forth, because all this will make both parties hopefully in a win-win situation, because industry invest something, but academia contribute something, right? Even though academia mostly non-monetary, but industry usually monetary. So I think the expectations at the beginning must be harmonized and consensus, and then both parties should have a kind of very good agreement on that, and then academic try to follow, industry try to understand the pace of academic compared to the industry, because sometimes the demand from industry is too much, and at that time we are so many things to do in academia, because we are not pure researcher or we are not pure collaborators. We have multiple things to do in our daily teaching, learning, curriculum review, whatsoever lah. There are so many things. So sometimes we need to be concern ourselves as well, That's why selecting academic industry partnership with trust and synergy is very important. Do not go too many, but be more practical one at a time. I think this is very from my own experience as well. I do not go too many industry. All right. So, but I will focus on one or two that I work before. I can trust them, and they are doing in the ethical way. They understand our we are not only researcher or maybe collaborator, but also have in other things, and they can tolerate our slowness. But most of industry cannot tolerate the slowness because they want it very fast. But let's go back to our the way that we build the trust just now. So evaluate if you think that the industry is not meant for you, then do not take it. All right, do not take it, even though there are a lot of money. But if you think that we cannot, um, you know, uh, go hand in hand with them, then better not to put. Otherwise, a lot of stress, a lot of expectation, and it's not good for your well-being as well. So take care of yourself, even though you are trying to get as much as possible for industry, right? So that is my personal views and observations when it comes to industry academia collaborations, right?
Yeah, so actually, the problem with the industry and academia is that we are in two different worlds.
Yes.
They said academic, we usually know that publish or perish. So if we don't publish, we would not get our KPIs done, we would not get the promotion, increment, and all those kind of things. That's the far-reaching implications. So we have this culture of publish or perish. So, but industry is a different culture altogether. You say you publish, we perish.
Yes.
But they don't want it because
Yes.
their knowledge don't want to because that's business secrets.
Yes.
They
They
don't
have
want to share
secret
publicly.
trading. Yeah.
So here sometimes we never know where to draw the line.
Yes. We need to. I do agree. We need to find a middle way.
And sometimes when you tell them on face during sign of agreement, usually this is always contractual research. They
Yes.
say, well, we better fall apart. I would not give the project to you because this is my investment. And
Yes.
I want this research output to be copyrighted or rather be patented so that it will be under our control and our competitors should not copy and paste.
Yes.
So this is where is the challenge. Either we look for money or we look for academic credibility and academic achievement. So it depends because these are the two different worlds altogether.
Yes. Agree. Definitely. I think those who are in academic industry, field collaboration, I think what you are dealing with, right?
Can I
Yes.
add something? Sometimes, I have to actually make just consideration that if I alone try to carry the PI, the intellectual property, the technology, I I have no capability to commercialize it. So
Yes.
I have to like slow down. Okay, fine. Uh, Go to the industry first because they have the capability to commercialize it better than me. So always try to do that to just make sure that we have a better relationship and also collaboration with the industry. But at the same time, after a good trust between us, I
Yes.
realized the industry also allow me to publish, but
Yes.
I have to go to a different ways of doing it, which I have to go deeper into the fundamental, which does not affect. It's a
Yes.
double project lah, double project. The one with the company with the IP for future commercialization should be different, and I have to do a side project, but with the company's punya budget given to me for my own publication. But
Yeah.
still, benda ni akan kacau me at the same time. Prof,
Yes.
like because you
Understood.
work double lah, you work double.
Yes, understood.
So what is your advice on this matter?
Just enjoy it.
Okay.
What to do? Just, once we're willing to accept it, we need to find way to enjoy it. That's all.
Yeah, but
No way,
I do
no
enjoy
other
because
way.
I also learn something from the industry.
Yes.
But of course, sometimes, okay, I don't have much time for my own KPI. I have to
Hmm.
do minimal between it to not maintain the two. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is what I realized lah, the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah. I think yes. With industry, you should not put your KPI on industry. That's all, because industry don't care about your KPI. All right, so never mind. You know yourself better, right? So everyone who are listening, hopefully you can relate what I'm trying to tell you. It's a lot of good things, but also a lot of demanding things that sometimes can cost your well-being, right? So don't forget to take care of your well-being as well while you are trying to get all this collaboration, all right? So take care of yourself first before you take care of others, all right?
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Oh, yeah, silakan.
Sorry to interject. I wrote a question in the chat box, if I may read, Prof.
Oh, ada, saya
Basically,
tak nampak. Okey,
yes, Prof.
silakan.
It's okay. I can read. Basically, I love to work with industry because of what at the end they will help me to the practical aspects and also to achieve my KPI, for example, publication, book publication, article, etc. However, the problem is sometimes the challenge come from inside punya aspect. For example, the seems you as profit making or personal profit driven. For example, you make money from the top, for etc. So how are you tackle this problem, Prof? How to tackle this problem? That is my question. Thank you.
Oh, that's my problem as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think how to put it in a good way, profit. But I think, from my point of view, if we have clear communication, clear framework that we're working, and everything is endorsed by a different level, I don't think we should be worried about that, because if we put things in integrity, transparency, we communicate everything in accordingly. Sometimes I just ignore those kind of perception, if really perception. But if something is correct, it means that we are seem to be so profit driven and then not really taking care of other and don't care about other. I think that is something we need to look at ourselves. Maybe we need to retune the way that we are doing, if that's true, and then prove it with action. I think it is about ourselves. But if nothing, if there is just perception, and then we just continue. But if there is true, whole true, then we need to improve ourselves, basically. So yeah, no straight answer for that, but definitely both sides need to be tackled. Either it is a purely perceptions or it's really a problem with us, and then we need to tackle the root cause of the problem so that we are not being seen just a profit making compared to contributing to something meaningfully in the field.
Thank you,
I don't
Prof,
know.
for the response. In the interest of time, we only have another 7 minutes. If you
Oh,
would
7 minutes.
want to,
Ayo. All right,
yeah,
all right. Let me
cover.
finish. Don't ask question anymore.
It's a very good discussion, but in the interest of time, so we have 7 minutes. Maybe you want to go to the slides that would cover all of the learning
All
outcome.
right.
Mostly you have covered, but if
I
you want
don't
to
know how
cover
many
some,
slides I have, but I have a few more, right? So don't ask questions. 7 minutes, guys. All right, so now this is a structural integrity and maintenance protocol. This is something that how do I usually ensure that I myself put integrity as the core and how to maintain it. So I think the first is about the clear rules. I think the governance, everything, define decision right early, whatsoever. I think the clear rules of everybody is very important. And then we need to keep communication. All right. So it's about the rhythm. Rhythm is facilitated by the heartbeat of communication, I would say. So communicate, because communication will make a lot different in whatever problem you have. And then if let's say we are not aligned, so we need to be in constructive conflicts. What I mean that we need to agree on how to disagree. And then it's not easy, but sometimes we need to have this kind of constructive conflicts so that we are, trying to align yet not compromise certain integrity and ethical principles. And definitely, we need to use a review. I would say that regular review so that periodically we can recalibrate whatever goals that we have together. I think review process is very important, and be more transparent on that is far more important, right? So I think this is something that I always keep reminding myself, and hopefully I can keep it as long as I'm alive. And then the core insight about this, collaboration, partnership don't die from lack of resources. Remember that. They die from lack of clarity. That's the problem. All right. So I think it's not about resources. There are so many resources outside there, but the clarity of things need to be clearly mentioned. Everyone need to understand the same things so that we can sustain, or maybe we can even improve and strengthen our collaboration. Right? And the code of conduct, I think I do not need to teach you about this, just to highlight a collaboration that isn't equitable is eventually extractive. All right. So there is a balance, all right, between whoever in this collaboration. Fair recognition, just like now, the authorship, if there are significant contribution, we need to find ways on how to put things in the right way. There are so many ways, but every members in the field or maybe every members in the collaborative team know how to go about it. All right, so discuss. This is very critical. And then avoid relationship when only one party is profited or benefited, especially for the data. And this is very important when it comes to industry, because industry do not want to share the data, but you need to respect when they give you investment. All right, respect the key and build trust. But if you think that there are certain data very fundamental that is allowed by the industry or maybe the funder, then you go with that. I think it is a lot of work, but sometimes we need to respect every every stakeholder. They have their own cultures, so we need. I think we try our best to synergize the culture rather than amplify the conflicts of the culture. All right, so I think it is something that we need to remember. And definitely cognitive diversity, respect for diverse knowledge, expertise, system, function, role, and many other things. So we need to train ourselves to have cognitive diversities by respecting others as they are, yet educating them to try to understand us as much as possible, right? So it's quite important. And the failure analysis, we know already, there are so many things: misalignment, expectation, power imbalance, and so many things. And basically, these are predictable challenges, but we need to find ways to prevent it or maybe to address it in the best way, because every challenge have their own solutions. And how to address these failures, basically I'm going to talk a little bit more on how, based on my observation and experience, how do we deal with these failures. First, we need to reinforce the openness, because to me, openness is a stabilizer. All right, to me, I think you need to be open, transparent, be honest. Even though sometimes honesty is not someone that can accept it as it is, but try be honest in a polite way so that we know that what is our capacity, what are the risks that we share, and how consistent we are in the way that we do together. I think this, I would say, is more important so that we can build the trust faster than faster, so that we can build the group even better, right? And then leaderships, all right. So this is something that if you are in the leadership roles, I think we need to set the tone. We need to protect the trust from anyone who are not contributing to the group. Do not keep quiet, even though you know that someone in the group not really contributing, but you are still appreciating them, there is no. I think as a leaders, we need to make sure we need to protect the trust, even though those who are not contributing are not so happy with us. All right, so I think this personally, I see this as very important if you are in the leadership position, and we need to enable people, the enabling environment. All right. So if you are in the leadership role at the university, you need to enable, create institutional support. If you are the project leaders, you need to give appropriate support to the collaborators appropriately. If you are the individuals who are leading a smaller project, so you need to give the same, enabling environment and so on and so forth. Because when you are in the leadership roles, in this collaboration, networking, partnership, it's not just manage outputs, oh, this one. It's easy to manage output, but it's about how we stewards of trust throughout the collaboration so that more collaboration grows, more trust grows, and that will be more impact to whatever the collaboration and partnership will. All right, so there's a leadership. And if you are looking at the supporting structure, I always look at the shared value is the bumbung lah, basically. All right, so there's something that protect us, the shared evaluation, how we build up the relationship within our team. This is where everybody will contribute, and the most important thing, the institutional support. Is there any institutional support to support all this collaboration, especially academic industry? Industry and academic society as a community collaboration. Yeah, I heard someone want to ask. Go ahead. Huh? No one. Okay, I can continue. I think you can approach this one. If institutional support, you need to have legal frame, seed funding, shared evaluation metric program, and so on and so forth. I think it's very important if the institutions want to support all these collaboration domains. All right. So sometimes we need to put something. All right. And to get things from project-based thinking to infrastructure investment is something that maybe is a long term. Right. I would like to use this exercise, but because of time, we do not need to exercise. But as I mentioned just now, it's kind of audit our own context. Where can we begin? So, as I mentioned, identify who is our potential collaborators from our context. Because we already have our context, identify who is our collaborators, potential collaborators. And sometimes the second step is we need to define what are the specific things that we are going to do together with the collaborators that we are going to contact later. And we also need to assess in terms of the trust that currently that we have with the context. How much conversation we have done, and if possible, is there any track record of collaboration that are the potential contact person to be our collaborators in other, other teams? Because sometimes, that track record also can give us some ideas how far the collaborators will be a trusted collaborators with us. Actually, I want to ask you for 10 minutes, but even myself also have limited time, but as simple as 3 steps. All right. So zone 1 is look for your partner, all right, from your contact. And then zone 2 is now identify what the problem that you are trying to solve or maybe to address with your partner that you are going to collaborate. And the next step is, can I trust the partner? And what is the initial low stakes things that we can do together that is not so risky, but it's not adventuring enough for us to start somewhere. But I skip this one. Actually, I would like to listen to you, but never mind. That's okay. And whenever you put that, personal reflection just now, this is where we can turn our reflection based on that 3 zones into action. This is where the roadmap. Now it's about the conversation. So now we think, oh, maybe I need to start conversation. And then second step, once the conversation, is there anything small feasible activity that we can do together just to test the water? That's the proposal basically. And how to execute those small things to make it momentum. And later on we review whether we can make it bigger. So we can have the more ripple effects, more no more collaboration in the future with that collaborators that we already test the waters. All right. So guidance from my side: build momentum gradually. Do not rush the trust continuum. So start slowly but surely. All right. And final inspections, ROI readiness is something that, especially those with industry, you need to have a strategic collaboration with them, not collaborate everything. The outcomes in terms of fundings alignment, because we need the fundings. What are the outcome? We mean visibility or maybe things that we produce from our projects, and what are the impacts of that? Is that going to address certain global challenges or maybe the industry needs? That really important, that valuable for them. All right. So last but not least, my key takeaway messages. Never forget this. All right. So one, trust is the foundation. Whatever it is earned, not claimed. So start building it, and you need to have a trusted list on your whatever list you have. All right. Openness will sustain us. So lead with integrity and transparency, or maybe collaborate with integrity and transparency, because that will give more, access for both sides. And for us, I think invest on relationships, not just output, because a good long-term relationship will produce more as compared to just a touch and go relationship and focusing on output. So go for synergistic collaboration rather than collaborativity something. All right, rethink how you collaborate, move beyond only collecting business card. Start conversation, and hopefully that conversation will turn to something beneficial for you to collaborate with the trusted partners. I think with that, I end my presentation. Thank you so much for your interactions, and hopefully whatever I shared here from my limited experience will be useful and beneficial for all. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you so much, Prof. Saiful. I think the collaborator Vitis deserves one paper on its own, explaining on the signs and symptoms and the ways to address it and so on. Alhamdulillah. So thanks again, Prof. Saiful, as well as all the comments and interaction. We believe that Prof. Saiful's explanation, insight is very clear, together with the visuals and concepts that are practical enough, and I was always looking at the learning outcomes, and has all of it has been addressed, especially on looking at the Prof. Saiful has giving all the practical steps since early, and then finally providing a summary of the audit checklist and some of the strategic pathways that we need to start and embark on this journey, and the principles of trust. This the quote that I took. I'll keep this forever. Trust is built on action, not just what do you call that, conversation. So we need to, and because of that premise, we need to embark on the journey. And then Prof. Saiful also mentioned about the monitoring part, to assess and relook, and how we look at all this journey of collaboration as a journey on its own. It's not just we stop when we fail, but we always find for new, even mentors and collaboration partners and so on, because the journey in academia is long, and we, as a scientist, we always experiment and find the best solutions, inshallah. Thank you so much again, Prof. Saiful. The recording will be emailed to the participants as well as the slides. And we truly appreciate all the engagement comments by the participants. Due to interest of time, we don't have much time, but inshallah will benefit. So hopefully we can take a picture, Prof, together with all participants. If you can switch on your what do you call that, your camera. The participants, some have left, I think, because of time. We have lectures and so on, or maybe we don't have lectures. Some do, those with a different schedule. But hopefully those are here, we can take a photo with Prof. Saiful and everyone. Yeah, we've got friends from Kuantan, from engineering, Dr. Rika, I think from engineering, Prof. Khalid from IUMKL, Prof. Ibrahim Shogar, Dr. Saiful from Kuantan, Dr. Ahmed, my friend always we see in mosque in Kota Sas, Dr. Danny, thank you so much. We'll can you all switch on, and our staff from CPD will take a picture. Dr. Azrul from Kuliah Dentistry, Dr. Syahri from KOP, Dr. Samiullah, KOD. So, so there's a lot here. Prof. Ma'an from Gombak. So, yes. So, can you take pictures, Sister Hilda?
Okay. Okay, smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next one. Okay, hold on. The second one.
Okay, last one.
Okay, hold on. Another one.
Okay. Right, that should be okay. Okay, I think that's it. Once again, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. See you again.
See you, inshallah. With that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you,
Thank you so
Prof.
much, Prof.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Thank you so much.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So you may leave, and we will leave the session. Thank you. So I'll read the comments while everyone's leaving. Terima kasih Dr. Saiful, Barakallahu Fiq, Dr. Izzat, Dr. Ishraf, Iras Fimidon, Masya Allah. Thank you, Prof. and CBD team. Thank you. Mentioned by Dr. Dini, Dr. Zirahim. Thank you very much, everyone. So we'll switch off the meeting. Thanks once again.
Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.